And hello Instagram, how is everybody this Wellbeing Wednesday? I hope you are thriving. And on YouTube too, very warm welcome to my bedroom. I was just saying to our friends on Instagram here that I thought it would just be a bit of fun to do a fab fashion frenzy, looking at some really lovely accessories. Things that you won't find on the high street. Yeah, things that are a little bit special. And that's what I love about particularly focusing on female founder-led brands, just doing nice things in a great way at sensible prices and, you know, backed with lovely personal service and all of those things. So, you know, as we come into Christmas and we're thinking about festivities, hopefully, and just thinking about little things that can give us a lift. So before I crack on with that, so I'm going to do a split screen again on Instagram. So if you're watching on Facebook and you want to see the lovely Annie, who I'm going to be talking to, then you're going to have to join me on Instagram. Instagram, obviously, you know that my page will split. But you will be able to hear on Facebook and also on YouTube. So I hope that is good. Thank you very much for all your comments and questions. I have got my trusty tablet here. Oh yeah, lots of comments about my dress already. This is one of Annie's. So yeah, we could talk about that. And my necklace, this is one of mine. So this is the rose collection, my rose gold. I've got my little studs in. I've actually got my rose mangrove studs because the rose gold all matches. But yeah, if you've got your sparkly copy of the magazine here, you'll see right at the beginning. There we go. Yeah, 25% off all the different things in the Wild Rose collection. We've done that as a Christmas special. So you don't need an offer code for that. Just go to Liz Earle Jewellery and you'll find it there. A couple of questions coming in just before we get going. So lots of questions about hands and feet following my live with Margaret Dabbs on Monday, and I have got some of her amazing things here. She has given us 20% off her entire range just until Sunday, okay? So I honestly am so impressed. I've been trying things that I've not tried before. I'll talk about this again at the end of the live, but the Fabulous Feet cream I absolutely love, and this one, Firming Leg Serum, oh my goodness, just genius. And this I think might be really helpful for Leslie, who says on Facebook, hi Leslie, do you have anything for your legs for flying when we can fly again? Obviously, as my legs really swell on a long flight and are so painful. I would definitely suggest checking this out. It's the Firming Leg Serum. You can read all about it on Margaret's website. And if you fancy getting it, then you can grab that, obviously, with the 20% off before Sunday. But this is also helping to diminish the signs of cellulite and stimulating circulation and decongestion, etc. Heavy legs. I know a lot of people, when we were talking about this on Monday, were saying that they sleep with it overnight. But the one that I have loved overnight is the Intensive Foot Lotion. Oh my goodness, my feet are silky soft. And as for my hands as well, this was the hand sanitizer that Margaret didn't develop during COVID. She actually made this 6 years ago for use in salons. And the hand cream that goes with that is just amazing. I mean, really, I don't use that word very often, as you know, when it comes to products. But you need a tiny little bit, just a little sort of dot, and your hands are just transformed. So for everybody who's hand washing, I've got another question here from Karen, also on Facebook. Just had lunch and watching you now, Liz, going back to work soon. NHS worker, my hands are sore from all the essential washing. Anything you can help, please recommend. Genuinely, I think the hand cream that Margaret has, and it's super concentrated. So I probably used it only twice yesterday with lots of hand washing, and my hands, even by the evening, were still feeling soft and comfortable. So I do recommend that. Okay, so lots of questions about vitamin D and all sorts of other things, so nutrients, etc. So maybe I'll pick up on that at the end. But now let us dive into a bit of fashion fun. Right, let me see if Annie has requested to join. Yes, Annie. So you'll find Annie on Instagram, annie.reed, which is Sansom Reed. So here we go. Annie. Right, I've requested you, so I don't know whether, I think I have to wait for you to reply, Annie. I know you're there because I was watching you on Instagram earlier on today. I could see all the things that you're posting from your kitchen. Hello!
Hi, Liz. Hello, how are you?
I am so well, thank you. All the better for seeing you. Oh, look, you're sitting by your fire. Are you at home? Is this your sitting room?
No, this is my studio. So
Oh, I see.
it's got taken over by my business completely. Boxes all across the kitchen, boxes all across the hall,
I
and we
know
really
that
used to
one.
move. Yeah, I thought you would. I thought you. I thought you'd know that one. So we need to move me out, and we're also all my marketing this year has gone over to. Well, all through the first lockdown, as it's now called, I was outside in the garden doing things, putting them outside. I couldn't do that through the winter. No. So we have a barn in our garden. So I went, right, I'm going to sort it out. It's going to be my office, my studio, the stock. And it means I can show everything all winter long and all time long.
Oh, brilliant. It's so funny. There's a bit of chat going on Instagram about my ironed duvet. Yeah, my duvet cover. It's actually, it is ironed, but it's the green, what are they? Are they white and green? My lovely friends in Ireland who do the organic cotton, and honestly, it presses really well and it just stays. It keeps its shape. So I'm not obsessive about it, but yeah, it's a good one. So Annie, it was so great to catch up with you. I saw you at a fair that I went to with my youngest. Well, probably only a couple of months ago. And it was great because it was held in an outdoor barn. So it was, one of the very few private fairs that was allowed to carry on. Because you have this extraordinary boutique and you sell all these beautiful things like these lovely stretchy dresses and the headbands and things I was wearing yesterday. In fact, I've got my lovely headband here, which I just love. I mean, look at that. You just pop it on and it just makes you
so
look
easy.
Done. I mean, it's just great. So you need to rush and have a look at all Annie's things. And I recognised you. I mean, we recognised each other straight away because we first met when you owned and ran the George Hotel on the Isle of Wight. Is that right?
I didn't own the George.
Right.
I had a shop. After I actually first met you through Kim.
Yeah.
When I was in Newport called Bayliss and Booth, which was the first interior design shop.
Of course, Bayliss and Booth. Yes.
From Bayliss, and then I got to know you, and then I had a shop of my own about 19 years ago in Yarmouth, and I was doing flowers, and that's the some of your lovely talks.
Yes, because you were always there doing beautiful props and styling, and making the George Hotel look so lovely.
Lifestyle. That was the other thing, is you let me come and help on your lifestyle program. That was a really
absolutely. Gosh, Lizard's Lifestyle. That seems so long ago. That TV show. Who remembers that? Does anybody remember Lizard's Lifestyle? So I used to do this programme on ITV in the afternoons from my home in Putney. And Annie, you would help with the styling and, all the sort of home makes that we were doing and propping and just making it all look lovely. So it was really nice to reconnect with you and to see that you are bringing your online boutique is just so special because you've got such incredible style. And if somebody had said to me, okay, Liz, so we're going to put you in this stretchy, leopard printy dress, and you're going to absolutely love it. I go, what? I don't really think so. And all these amazing headbands. I'm just going to show a couple of things. I hope that members of my family and friends aren't watching because I bought a couple of things from Annie's shop as Christmas presents. I mean, just look at this. Isn't that amazing? I'm not going to tell you who it's for. I hope she's not watching. But I absolutely love this. Now, before I go any further, you have given us all a really generous 10% discount, haven't you?
Yes, we've always decided to do. It's very difficult with my stock because it's been such a strange year of all my stock being wiped out really early on in this season because I order forward in advance. I order what I want. I don't take loads and loads of mass produced. I order by sample. I try every sample that I see that I like on, like your dress. It was tried on, and then I order a quantity. Now, I ordered so much back in January, February, before the world did this thing called COVID. Stocks were swiped quickly by, retailers that were doing well, and then also the brands they were really careful. They didn't make too much extra. So a lot of my stock has gone flying out, and it's like your dress. I cannot get more of. I want to get more of. I haven't even got one myself. Yeah. And so and this is how all my systems roll, and now I'm ordering for next summer, spring, and that's fine. And I like that because we're ordering a conscious brand, conscious amount, and it's a good way to go. But I've kind of grown quite surprised. But the thing I do have that you really liked were belts and hairbands. Yes. And because in that dress I've done a discount.
So we've got a discount. So we've got 10% Liz Loves on your amazing belts, which I'm going to show everybody in a minute because I just love them. I want one in every colour. The amazing headbands, which the same. I've got a whole beautiful box here to show you because you're just going to love them. And the dresses.
Yes, and what is because I would love to have done more offering across the wardrobe. I'm just being realistic to what I've actually got in stock. Yeah. But what I've said is all the dresses currently in stock, the Liz Loves code can work till Christmas. I think we all agreed. And then we'll see what we can do after. Things coming in that really eco fabrics and really cool and really things. Well, I'll run this past you in the new year and we can...
Fabulous. So basically all anyone needs to know is on the things that we're talking about today, you get your Liz Loves 10% off from now until Christmas, which is great. Yes. So we don't even have to kind of rush and scramble, although I suspect that you might have a bit of a run on certain things. Now, what I love about these, I spied these. You had them in your sale, and anybody on Instagram, if you have a look at my post that I did just now, you'll see a picture from the sale where Annie and I reconnected. These, how much are these headbands?
Headbands vary, Liz, depending which ones they are. They're kind of... I suppose £12 up to 18, and then there are some really
they're not a fortune. I mean, honestly, these they look so good. I mean, look at this one. You can just imagine.
So they start at about £17. I think the one that you.
I mean, to be honest, I thought you were going to say, oh well, it's like £60 or something, because you go to some of the big Bond Street, West End hairdressers or accessory boutiques, you would easily be paying. I mean, these are beautifully made. I love this. This is like a sort of soft, sort of velvety edged in gold. Isn't that fun? And then you've got even things like this one is great. I'm looking forward to having a bit of warmer weather. So this is a really nice summer one.
Whatever, and your hair's wet, it's quite nice just to put it, that if you had a bit sort of after swim hair or whatever. Yeah. The straw ones, makeup. Yeah,
it's a really nice makeup band. Yeah. Then we've got, this is a really pretty one. I'm into my kind of retro. This is almost like an old, looks like an almost sort of French tapestry style. Yeah. I like this one a lot, actually. I could imagine wearing this just with, simple pair of black trousers, black polo neck, really chic.
Mm-hmm. They're very easy to put. It's not people. When I was first selling hairbands over a year ago, people were, I just don't think I can wear one.
No.
They're not. The thing you don't do is what I think. There's only one rule. I think there are no rules with hairbands, but there's just the one. Don't treat it like a school Alice band. Because people say, I feel like I'm in a school Alice band. So don't treat it like a school Alice band. Don't do that. Remember that point, and then do you know roughly what I mean? Where people used to push the hair up and back, and you just put it on. It's as simple as that.
Just put it on. I mean, when you look at the Duchess of Cambridge, lovely Kate, she's a big fan. I mean, she actually wears these really expensive, almost sort of millinery style, really quite big padded headbands. I think she's really sort of brought that to the fore, hasn't she? So you just, and what I like about them also is they're really soft and comfortable. And I was talking to Lily about this because obviously, she's still battling terrible migraine. She had a really nasty episode yesterday, actually, which was really awful, is that she can't have anything on her head. And a lot of the headbands are just way too tight. But these are really gentle and soft. I mean, this one I love. I feel a bit like Grace Kelly in this because it's almost like an Hermes type silk scarf.
Exactly, and that's why I put that one in, because people often say to me, I can't wear them, they're too grippy. They're going to hurt, I'm going to get a headache. And I put that one in. I knew that Lily wouldn't even be able to fit with that when she's got a migraine, but I thought for soft days, they're really, really good, because I thought I too don't like tight things when I've got a headache.
No. Well, even if you're not migraine prone, actually, to wear a tight headband all day, you take it off and, you can really feel it. But this is really, really gentle. It's, what else have we got in here? This is so exciting. This is a really fun one. Look at this. This is it like denim with little stars on?
I love that one. It's my favourite.
Is it really? I could see you in that. I mean, you're sitting... For those of you who can't see Annie, she's so cool. You've got your funky denim jacket on. What are you wearing under your denim jacket?
What I've got...
Oh, are you frozen?
A sneak peek, but so annoyingly it didn't arrive from Denmark in time. I tried to get it. But I've got on my top shirt of the year, which was by the same make, Sophie Schnorr, who did your dress. This is the same designer, but they just sold out overnight. So from my pre-order, they went so quickly. And then I've got a very easy knit Scotch and soda shirt on. It's got really nice stitch detail. It's like a silk, but not, and it's really cool and easy.
Looks really nice, like dark navy blue silky shirt. And then, and what have you teamed that with?
Well, what I've teamed it with, so I've got on the navy silky skirt, I've got on the sequin skirt, which is sadly not going to be this winter product, but I've decided to back everything I've learned about it this year and use it next.
Great.
Too good to turn away
from. Well, we'll just start following you, and then we can get on your mailing list or whatever, and then we'll be in the know, won't we?
Yeah, and then I've got my comfy trainers on.
Honestly, your comfy trainers are amazing. They are so stylish. If you're kind of thinking there's no way that I'm ever going to be wearing a pair of trainers, seriously, they are so stylish.
Well, I'm also doing I'm starting Woden, a brand in the new year, who are really orthopaedic thought through, because my whole thing is, am I comfortable in it? But I don't want to look like I'm in home scruffies, or as I say to my get out of your hospital wear. I want to, I want to look nice, but I want to be really
comfortable.
In elasticated, everything is all about comfort and the fabrics, but we're looking good, but very comfortable. So that's my whole.
I love a bit of an elasticated waistband. Absolutely. Right, I'm gonna pop this one on and see how we look. So this is Annie's favourite, and I could imagine rocking a denim jacket, and you just look done. I mean, I've literally not had to do anything. I've washed my hair this morning and literally ran a couple of tongs just literally through the front pieces, as you know I do. I cheat. I never do it at the back, and then it just popped that on, and you go, oh wow, you look nice. You've made an effort, like a 10-second effort. Right, this is one I also love. I love this colour. It's like an eau de Nil. It's one of my favourite colours. My bedroom walls, actually, you can probably see behind a painted eau de Nil. I think it's just such a soothing colour. Very chic.
I love that one. It's quite Audrey Hepburn or Grace Kelly, isn't it? That one. I like that one a lot.
And, getting down to the last few. This is really fun too. Is this like a raffia?
Yeah, I love the raffia ones because again, they're all year, and they're really nice when you're sunbathing.
Yeah, nice take on holiday too when we get the chance.
The neutral colour.
Quite retro too, isn't it? That polka dot. It's very now, that polka dot. Yeah. Such great presents, don't you think? Such great presents for a girlfriend, easy to post, really light if you're not seeing somebody, for my teens, goddaughters, all of that, nieces. Hope they're not watching.
Well, the reason they lockdown was because people can get, so they were wearing them endlessly to cover the streets. You know what? That was quite. And also Zoom calls, people loved them for their Zoom call because they look really, ready to go. But actually,
absolutely, you haven't had to do anything. If people are just watching you, like we're watching here online. And lastly, this is a really special one too.
I see which one you got.
Sort of pinky, plummy silk. Just the way they're twisted together. I mean, I just think they're fabulous. I really do. Okay, so enough about headbands. Which one am I going to slip on? I might go back to this one actually. I think this one with my black is just really, really pretty. I'm just going to fluff my hair up around it. Now, the other thing that we also have our 10% discount on, as well as the headbands, are the belts.
Indeed, we've got a lot of it.
And what is so great about these belts is, look at them, they are super long. This one I absolutely love. It's suede, but it's got a sort of glitter to it. It's like a sheen. Talk us through the belts and how to wear these.
Do you know what? I am really late to the game of belts in life completely, because I've always thought I don't have a waist belt. Well, actually, I think if you don't have a waist, you do wear a belt because it gives you the shape of the accent that maybe trunk body. It actually is such a good idea. And also, it's just really nice to change. It changes. So people often buy a dress from me that's quite neutral or whatever. And then they message a week later and say, now I want some belts to go with it. So it can be a look from once being the dress and then changes it. So I love that one, Liz. The reason I love that one is the round buckle.
Yeah. And then because sometimes I sort of twist that in or... just to pull it. You can do lots of things with it, can't you? Or you've got some that are like sashes.
Yes.
But I mean, they're just so stylish, aren't they? They just... I mean, you've got some as well that you're wearing. So I might tuck that in. I think it might look better tucked in.
Leather that you wrap round and then you tie. It's like all one long piece of leather that tapers. And we do them, by the way, we do all the belts in every colour of the rainbow and every colour of neutral and metallics. So you can probably find, whichever shape you like, you can probably find a colour to suit you as well. So we've got
fantastic.
which is the really butter soft, and then I've wrapped it around and tied it at the front. We also do a kimono, which is a bit like a cummerbund one, and then you've got the straps, and that you can tie that one. And
so a really wide belt then that that's quite long, so you kind of wrap it round you.
Here we go. No, that's
what I want to show us. Sorry, you can't see on Facebook. I'll try and describe it for you.
Got this. It's you sat back down and it's round. It's not a shape digging into you.
They look really comfortable actually, because you can adjust them. That's the great thing. Is it doesn't matter if those little holes are annoyingly never in the right place. It's always slightly too tight or slightly too loose. But these you can just wrap around, and they're classic, aren't they? I mean, they just go with everything. So, how much are the belts?
Exactly.
So, if you're wearing these little suede belts, how much would they be?
Yeah, they're Italian leather, Italian made. The one that you're wearing is $29. This one is
that's reasonable. Yeah.
That one, this one that I just showed, the kimono strip bum one, is $35, and then the one that's made of butter soft Italian leather are $45.
Great, so they're not a fortune. And actually, do you know, I've got belts that are in my cupboard that I've had for, I don't know, 30, maybe even close to 40 years. They're things that you always have. You always want to have really classically good belts. And I love a little bit of sparkle. You can see here, actually, I was smiling because that's the cover of the latest magazine. So, look how well that goes. It's all about adding that little bit of sparkle, that little hint of just, let's have a bit of sheen and get a bit of fun.
You've got the belt as well. You're just changing it. You're bunching up the dress a bit differently. Or I love the way, I often say European ladies, they wear like a waistcoat or a scarf and they put the belt on top. And that looks quite very smart if you're going to a meeting or something. That's a really nice, smart way to hold the scarf in place or whatever.
What a good idea. So you've got your scarf around your shoulders, like a long silk scarf or whatever.
And then they often have they're very smart black trousers and a smart top and a smart, very smart, maybe faux fur gilet. And then they put a big smart buckle belt on top. And I think that looked really good as a sort of chic knit look, rather than just having everything swishing around.
Yeah, I think belted cardigans also look quite good too. Pulling in a cardigan rather than having that kind of baggy, shapeless. So talk us through some of the colours, because I actually bought a bright red one from you as well, which is really fun. And that's very festive. If you're wearing black or navy or dark brown or grey. Oh my goodness, I wish you could see on Instagram. There's like every colour. She's produced this entire. What have we got there? Pale blue, turquoise, grey, all the browns, oranges. That orange one's lovely. Different shades of yellow, browns, creams, plums, blacks, greys, purple. Beautiful. Really, really lovely. And that's all of these. So you can get some sort of sparkly ones in different colours. Exactly. Love it. I'm going to have to rush and stock up, because I think there's going to be a bit of a stampede. And again, what lovely presents, because they're easy to post if you're not able to see people and just want to pop something in the post. Share with a girlfriend. Actually, you could try and match them, couldn't you? You could do a belt with a little headband, maybe. A little set like that. Gorgeous. Yeah, exactly. Gorgeous.
A real gap that I saw people wearing the leather Ovi belts, like black ones or brown ones, and I never really saw it. And I sort of thought, I think I'm going to just try this, because I don't think there are that many for sale. And what's lovely is when we do actually get to see customers in the flesh, everyone's got a different way of that's what's quite nice as well, as I'm always in the middle, done and walk off. And actually somebody came here the other week and they were tying them at the side.
I like a belt tied at the side. I learnt that actually from Amanda Wakely, and what I love about her designs, I mean, obviously they're fiendishly expensive and real investment pieces, but I've got a dress of hers that I've had for years, and it has this really, really long black sort of grosgrain belt, and you just wrap it around lots of times and then do a sort of loop at the side to fasten it, and it just looks so chic. So you could get that similar effect, couldn't you, with your belt? So you could have a dress that's already in your wardrobe, or a skirt and a top.
Belts, the ones, I don't know if you've seen looking to stock, maybe get them before Christmas, that they come around as a leather and then they go through a knot of one long piece hangs down. It's almost reminiscent of bridal, sort of a brown bridal sort of belt, and I thought they looked really good. And of course the coat can go on with those. Any belts that I have in stock, any hairbands, there's always new stock. That's the other thing, I've got new stock.
So where do we find you? Are you on Facebook or our Facebook?
I'm I'm not massively on Facebook, but I'm always on Instagram. Every day posting the new products that come in, everyday stories, and I'm
do you
doing
have a website as well?
Website.
Okay, so what's your website address so people on YouTube and Facebook can hop over?
Spell it, or should I type it? What would you like me to do?
Just spell it out. What is it? Is it Sansom Reed?
Sansom Reed, SANSOM Reed, REED.com.
Okay, Sansom Reed, REED.com. Brilliant.
That's it.
And what I've also loved is some of your scented candles and your room sprays, and you are in just a beautiful Aladdin's cave of lovely, lovely things that you don't find in many places. And presumably this year has been such a challenge because you normally would go out and do private sales and lots of events and fairs, and I guess all that has virtually stopped.
It has. We have gone like Billio this year. I haven't really seen my children much through the lockdowns. I haven't really, because I know I go to pop-ups, but I've also was tailoring just the big pop-ups where I could set the whole set. People have a lot at Spirit of Christmas. We wallpaper the wall. It all looks like this. There's dynamism to everything of the set. Yeah. And that thing for me that week at Spirit of Christmas takes a lot of revenue, and and then there are other events that are charitable events losing out as well because we. So
Spirit of Christmas, which I know is this huge event in London, presumably that was all cancelled quite early on.
Yeah, I mean, I was holding on though. I was happy to go, and I said, look, if you've lost brands, I will take it, because I just so wanted to get there, because it's not people you meet on the day, all the old friends that go past.
No, it's a real day out, isn't it? I know a lot of friends of mine they go together, they do all their Christmas shopping. And for a lot of the smaller brands like you and the particularly the founder-led brands, that's 90% of their revenue is coming from this time of year. And if you close all that down, it's lovely to be able to talk to you and to shine a little light on what you're doing and encourage people to go over and support the smaller brands and people who are just I know that entrepreneurial journey. The risks and the stress and the not seeing your family or getting all your family involved in wrapping and packing.
Yes, that's what we got going on here right now.
Okay, that's good. Annie.
Thank you. It's made me change though. It's made me change my whole setup. Yeah. Get every line, get my dispatch much better, and so that as I go back out into the world, eventually. Just doing a few big pop-ups is all I'm ever going to do again, really. And people can obviously come and have private appointments.
No, I mean, it has, it's changed my life, as, my friends here know, on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. We've just got this fantastic community now, and there's this great connection and this great chat. And that wouldn't have happened, without that first lockdown. Not that we would wish it at all. But, sometimes it's nice to see a silver lining. In the darkness. Yeah. Well, thank you. I just hope that you've got some stock left by the time I come to actually be able to have a proper snoop on your website later tonight. I've got a load of deadlines this afternoon. We're just about finishing copy for the next issue of the magazine, so it's always this last kind of next week or two. I've got to edit a load of copy and then write some of my own, so it's going to be a bit full on. But I'm definitely going to be sitting down, perhaps with a glass of wine and a snoop on your website.
Can I say thank you, Liz, for being so supportive? Again, 20 years after, 25 years. Thank you so much for doing this, because it's just so incredibly kind of you to take the time to put a spotlight, like you say, on me. Really, really appreciate it.
No, it's good. It's good to share, and I always say, lift others as you rise. Really important. You do. Share the love. Thanks, Annie. And we'll be in touch, and please come back again. I hope you survived the Christmas rush, and when you've got your lovely new stock in, let's do a little fashion fest online, shall we? You can send me some things to demo so that our friends on Facebook can see them as well.
Love to. I'd really love to. Thank you so much. I'm going to come and try your eggs. That's what I really want to go and do. I want to come see what when I'm next driving past.
Yeah, definitely. Well, my chickens are off lay at the moment. They're not under artificial light or anything, so they're just happy fat hens pecking around, not actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. But never mind.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Lots of love.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes. Bye.
There we go. Wasn't that nice? so nice to come across old friends, people that you've known for a long time who are doing such great things. I'm going to have a change of headband now. I'm going to change direction. What shall I go for? I do quite fancy this one, but this is perhaps a bit glam for daytime. What do you reckon? Can I get away with that for now? Yeah, I'm feeling a bit bold. So before I talk about a few other bits, I just saw that, sorry, I don't know your name. It's Politis, is I think on Instagram, talking about testosterone. And, oh, this is such an enraging subject because I think you've just realised that where you are in England, it's been removed from primary care, from the formulary for women, which is such an outrage. And, this is yet another reason why we all need to support the Menopause charity, because, low hormone levels can strike at any age. You can be in your 20s and 30s, so it's really important for our daughters, if we're younger, watching this, and of course as we age as well. And so much research is needed and evidence-based information. All I would say is, and this is not a recommendation at all, obviously, but I know that many women who've struggled to get testosterone, which is very safe for women, is they use their husbands. It's just a shocker, isn't it? I know many women who send their husbands either off to the GP, because, the guys will get it really easily, for libido or whatever. But even if a woman says she needs it for libido, it's like, well, our libido doesn't matter. It matters for a guy, but it doesn't matter for a woman, clearly. But actually, so many women find that their brain power improves. Testosterone is really important in women for cognitive function, for memory, for mood, for clarity of thought. Really, really important. And we actually make more testosterone than we do estrogen in our ovaries, which is really interesting. So you can see it's fundamental for women. It's just got this label as the men's hormone, but it's not at all. And it is medically licensed for women, certainly in Australia, and you can get it privately, but it's expensive, and it shouldn't be. So I know a lot of women who actually just nick a little pea-sized amount of their husbands. Or they even go online and, use a male email address because you can get it from an online pharmacy. I'm not recommending that. I'm just saying this is what people are doing. Or over in Spain, for example, you can get it over the counter from a pharmacist. So, I've got friends in Spain who send it to girlfriends back in the UK. So anyway, it's I'm really sorry that you've had such a difficult battle with that. And don't forget that if you want to know more about HRT, I do have an e-guide, The Truth About HRT. Do please download it from Earle Wellbeing. And please support the Menopause charity. It's themenopausecharity.org. There's still crowdfunding and there's a lot going on behind the scenes. What the charity wants to be able to do is to fund a helpline. So it'll be staffed by medics, qualified GPs, doctors, practice nurses, prescribing nurses, people who can really help guide women if they're not getting good information from their GPs. But of course also then educating doctors, because that's the key thing, isn't it? Let's get the doctors educated. And then of course battling the MHRA with their incorrect information. And I am aware of some moves that are happening behind the scenes there, which obviously I can't really talk about yet, but I will in the future, very much so. And I am looped in with all of that because Lorraine Kelly and Davina McCall and myself are the first 3 ambassadors. I think there's another ambassador just about to be announced, so that's really good. So we're going to be definitely continuing to talk about that. Couple of other things to pick up on here from my messages that have come in. This was from Jane on YouTube. If you're taking vitamin D by Life Armour, which was their new vitamin D drops, are you still taking vitamin D by Better For You? The short answer, Jane, is yes, I am. I'm actually taking quite a high dose of vitamin D. I take around 4,000 to 5,000 international units a day. I think the recommended government intake is 1,000. The reason for that is that I have had some profiling done, some screening done, which shows that I don't actually process vitamin D very well. So, and nor do some of the members of my family. So we're actually taking quite high doses of vitamin D. And you can tell, for example, vitamin D is really helpful for low mood and anxiety and depression because it's involved in the production of serotonin. And if you find that higher doses of vitamin D relieve anxiety, then that's one way to know. I'm actually going to be recording a podcast about all of this quite soon because it's really important, I think, particularly with all this talk about vitamin D and supplementation, There seems to be very little evidence of any toxicity up to about 10,000 units. But I think, be guided by government guidelines, how you feel. Some people need more than others. There is absolutely no question. So for me personally, I am taking quite a high dose, but that might not be the right thing for everybody. So obviously you can get blood tests from your doctor as well. Then that's always a good way of monitoring your own vitamin D levels. Sorry, Jane, that's quite a long answer to quite a short question. Talking about here, another question here. This is also on Instagram. MacD10 on Instagram. Hi Liz, I know that you talk about getting nutrients from your diet rather than supplements, but you do seem to be taking quite a few now. How many do you take in a day? Really good question. Well, if you're on Instagram, do have a look back on my post on Sunday, because I actually posted the majority of the nutrients I'm taking at the moment. You're right, I would absolutely prefer to get everything from my diet, and I still absolutely do try and do that. But there are things that I find very difficult to get in high quantities. For example, I tend to eat more fish in the summer. Maybe it's because I'm having a bit of salmon or a bit of tuna salad, that kind of thing. I don't tend to be eating so much fish in the winter, so I do definitely take my fish oils more regularly in the winter. I'm obviously, I think, like everybody else, really concerned to support my immune system during this time. So I've been doing a lot of research and writing. You may have got my e-guide. Well done if you were able to download that for free. If you haven't yet got it, then do go on to Earle Wellbeing and download it. It's $4.99, and it's all about our immune system and how we can keep it strong. And looking at things like vitamin C, if you listen to my podcast with Dr. Levy, amazing cardiologist, American cardiologist, talking about really huge levels of vitamin C, liposomal vitamin C from Ultrient C, that make this incredible liposomal vitamin C. And, he was saying there is no upper limit. Literally, he said there's the only thing, he says it's the only thing in the world there's no upper limit on. You can actually die of having too much water. If you drink gallons and gallons of water in a short space of time, that can actually be fatal. But he says you can have huge amounts of vitamin C. So anyhow, I think the liposomal vitamin C is really interesting. Do listen to that podcast. And it's really talking about how liposomal, the structure of liposomes is where they put a nutrient in a little sort of globule of fatty substance, microscopic. And what that does is that when you swallow it, it goes straight into your cells of the body. So it's a bit like having intravenous vitamin C. If you have a capsule or a chewy or something like that with vitamin C, it goes through the gut, and that's fine. You're getting it in the gut that way. But that's why sometimes high levels of vitamin C can cause gut disturbances. You can get diarrhea. That's one of the signs of having too much vitamin C, because I need to scale back. But that's if it's going through the gut. If it's not going through the gut, if it's a liposomal form, or you're having an IV, for example, in a clinic or a hospital setting, then it doesn't cause that, because it goes straight into the body. Anyway, I don't want to get kind of too much into that right now, because I'll save that for another day. But yes, there are certain supplements like that I've definitely increased. I've discovered that I do need higher levels of vitamin D, because I'm not processing it really well. Also, I think as a menopausal woman, I'm really aware of bone health, so I'm aware of things like calcium. Magnesium is so good for sleep and anxiety, so I'm making sure that I'm taking that. Obviously, talking to Zana Morris. Who else is taking Amino Slim? Doesn't that sound so interesting? And creatine for supplements, for muscle definition. Actually, I was looking at a picture of myself. You know how your phone often sends you pictures of, this was 10 years ago, or this was this time last year. And there was a picture that popped onto my phone. It must have been taken, 2 or 3 years ago. I'm actually with James Martin at the Chelsea Flower Show. That was a bit random, because it's not even an annual thing. The flower show is in May, and I'm getting this on my phone anyway. It just popped up, and I'm wearing a sleeveless dress, standing there with lovely James Martin. And my arm, I have to say, it does look a bit flabby. I was not thrilled with that picture. Thank you very much for reminding me. And, I've just got so much better tone. And obviously I am working out and I'm doing my push-ups and things, but I just do think, talking to Zana, that things like the Amino Slim, the creatine, is just all helping with that muscle tone and retention, which is so important for health. So, yeah, I guess that's, again, a long answer to a short question. I am taking more supplements. I'm very specific with the ones I take, and I take them for a reason, and we'll see whether I continue taking some or others. I also think the adaptogenic herbs. I also am taking the balance drops from Life Armour. I found those really helpful. These are strange and curious times, and it's, it can mess with your head and your emotions and your mood, and obviously our immune system needs more support than ever. So yeah, I am absolutely taking more. You will find all the details of everything that I take and more on LizEarleWellbeing.com. There's a whole section on Liz Loves. So we've got Liz Loves to Wear, for example, where it talks about all the fashiony things. Liz Loves to Pamper, which is all the candles and the lovely home things. And there's a whole section on supplements as well. So, and actually in the e-guide, the e-guide to the immunity, there's lots of links in that because it's a digital edition, so you can click through to various websites, you can click through to podcasts, so it's all really focused on that. So if you really want to have a little bit of time, you've got a few hours free and you're just thinking, do you know what, I'm just going to take a moment and I'm going to learn a bit more about it. I'm going to invest in my own health and well-being. Health is wealth. Yes, so we need to get that. Okay, where do you get profiling done for vitamin levels? Watch this space. I'm going to be talking about that in the future. Okay, so you can just get basic blood tests, obviously, from doctors. They can test for basic things like iron and vitamin D, for example. Do we need a blood test before getting testosterone? And that is on Instagram from Sue. It depends. Doctors should go on symptoms, but testosterone is a funny one. For me, my own journey, and I think this is usually what happens with menopause specialists or doctors who know about menopause, is the first thing is you sort out your estrogen and your progesterone if you need it. So that's the first thing that you do. So for me, I had my estrogen gel, which I was probably taking for about 6 months or so. I've still got my womb. I haven't had a hysterectomy, so I do need progesterone to protect that. So I take my Utrogestan progesterone as well. And so after about 6 months or so, that all got settled in quite nicely. I knew, how much I was using and what I was using to sleep better and to feel well. And then it was when I was researching with Louise Newson, the menopause doctor, and I had a meeting with her, and she could tell that I just wasn't quite thinking straight. I was fumbling for my words, and I was going, what was it? Oh no, it'll come back to me. And she said to me afterwards, she said, Liz, I think you should try some testosterone because, we've sorted out your estrogen and your progesterone and that you're doing really well on that. And actually the third hormone for HRT is testosterone. But we tend not to do it right at the beginning because it can kind of get blurred with all your other hormonal symptoms. And I thought, yeah, but that's just for, sex drive and things. I'm not sure that, that I really want that. And she said, no, it's really important as part of the process of brain health and cognitive function. And it's used for memory loss and for mood and just for crispness of thinking, that clarity of thought, which can go. And, you think, where are my keys? Where are my glasses? What am I walked into this room to get? I can't remember it anymore. So I started with just a little tiny pea-sized amount, and yeah, I haven't looked back. I mean, I'm just so thankful, so thankful, and that is really, I suppose, why I bang on about it so much, is because I am just so aware of the healthcare injustice for women not being able to access these really safe, evidence-based, helpful hormones that are naturally part of our body, and we lose them as we age. And in the old days, we would have just died in our 60s. That's frankly what would have happened. Now we're living longer. The average age for women is well into our 80s. And we have this insufficiency going on. And we know about insufficiency of insulin for diabetics. We know about insufficiency of thyroxine with thyroid issues. And actually, this is just being overlooked. Anyway, sorry, I've gone off on one again. It always gets me. The injustice of it gets me. And that's, I guess, why I spend so often, talking about it, working behind the scenes with people like Dr. Louise and many other medics, Dr. Rebecca Lewis, Zoe Hodson, Menopause Hive. I mean, a lot of researchers, and really working at government level, trying to get this information across and get things changed. So it's a battle, but we will do it, and it's really important to share. So do please take a look at the Menopause charity website, because that will be such an amazing resource. And being a charity, it will be able to, really have some punch when it goes into talking to organisations and to funding research, and just so much that it will be able to do. I know it's just so frustrating not being able to do everything that is wanted. And I think poor Dr. Newson, people, I'm sure other doctors, some of them will think, oh, she's just doing it because she's got a private menopause clinic. She doesn't want a private menopause clinic. She wants an NHS clinic. They won't give it to her because there's no funding. And she doesn't want to treat people month after month. She wants to see somebody once and then send them back to their GP. She's not like these private profiteering bioidentical clinics that go, oh yes, come back next month and let me spend, give you a bill for £1,000 for this compound stuff. No, she's like, here's your, your prescription, get it on the NHS, talk to your NHS doctor. And I think she's got something like 3,000 women on the waiting list. I mean, it's a scandal. It really is. And we just need that to change. And we need proper healthcare from our GPs, who are informed and knowledgeable and backed up by the MHRA. So, sorry, I did go off on one there, didn't I? It's just, me. Apologies if that's not what you want to hear. What do I have to say here? So, okay, don't forget, Margaret Dabbs. I'll be talking about this again on Friday. I'd love to get your feedback. So if you've been ordering some of these amazing things, I hope my mum's not watching, because some of these are definitely going on the Christmas list here for her, because it's just such a lovely way to treat people, hands and feet. It's just so nice, isn't it? And they are genuinely good. 20% off everything on her website, but only until Sunday. Vintage Roots. Is anybody joining me for my live wine tasting? I'd love to know. So there, you can still get the wine box. I think it's £149 for 12 bottles. So it's your Christmas selection, or drink it all, in the weeks running up to Christmas, and then have another one for Christmas maybe. It's all organic. A lot of the bottles they're vegan, biodynamic, lovely, really lovely selection. So one of my oldest friends, Richard Bantfield, who's a master of wine, and I are going to be doing a live Zoom tasting. And even if you haven't received your wine box, you can still get the code to join the live tasting if you would like to, at 6:30 on Friday. And I'm going to be joined by a female winemaker. I tried to get a lot of the wines also from female founders, obviously, of winemakers, and she's an award-winning winemaker, organic wine producer in Chile, and she's going to be joining us. So I'm really excited. It's the first live Zoom event that I've done for the community, so it will be really interesting. So okay, so Justine, you've got the wine. Okay, great. Don't drink it all before Friday. So the code is going to be emailed out, I think later on today or tomorrow. So I've basically got to create a Zoom event. That's on my to-do list for this afternoon, and send that out to everybody who's ordered the wine box. So yeah, if you haven't yet got your wine box, so you will obviously get your email code. Watch out in the email. It's being handled by Vintage Roots. So Vintage Roots are the wonderful organic wine producer who are sending out, they're dispatching from their wine warehouse all the wine boxes. So they will also send out the details of the Zoom event. And I will look forward to that. But obviously I'll be back in the meantime. So tomorrow is a Thursday, so I've got my new vlog that will go up on YouTube. So if you've not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do, Earle Wellbeing. I should be there exclusively on YouTube tomorrow because it's Thursday. Friday I'll be back here live on Instagram, Facebook, and obviously later on YouTube. We've also got the Friday 5 podcast. We've got the newsletter that will go out. It's always a good day on a Friday. So yeah, lots of fun things happening. It's fun on Friday. I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you for all your comments. Please keep them coming in. I don't do direct message on Instagram, but I do look at my comments always. And the same on Facebook. Have a lovely rest of the day. Who's going to go off and get some more headbands? What shall I leave you with? I'm going to pop this one on now, I think. Look at that. That's such a pretty colour, isn't it? Anyway, sending lots of love. Bye.